Okay, before we start with the more substantial commands like format and directory and copy and so on, I just want to go over uh, the commands like the date and time and type commands that we saw the last time. So we'll go back here to the DOS prompt, and here basically is the following. So let's say the date command is to set the system clock. So when I type the word date and I press enter, so it brings me up the following dialog. It says the current date is Sunday 7/13/2008, and it asks me to set the new date. I get an equivalent capability, of course, when I when I click on the clock in Windows, and I can set the date by simply moving to whichever date I want, and then setting the time, the clock up and down as I want. By pressing apply, I will then change the system clock. I'm not going to do that over here, and I can do the same thing. We saw that both DOS and Windows are just interfaces to the underlying hardware. Likewise, I can set the time by just typing the time command, and it gives me the current time, and I can enter the new time in the appropriate format. If I just press if I just press enter at this point, it just accepts whatever the current one is. The third one we saw was the type command. So the way type command is, if I have a just pure text file, as I indicated, so that means with no formatting, that's a file that if I bring up by typing Notepad, I can bring that up. So if I go start and I say run, and I say Notepad, it brings me up a Notepad file, and I say, let's say I just type the word hello, and that's going to be my file. I can then say, I can then save it, and then I can type it out, and we'll see that it just says hello. So at this point, I say file, and I say save as, and it brings up save as dialog, and I'm going to call the file hello, and I say save, or I press enter, and it saves it. I'm now going to close this, file exit, and if I come back here and I do a directory listing on my A drive, it tells me that I have a file that was just created, 1136, and it has 5 bytes. If I type the type command, and I say the name of the file, so the name of the file is hello.txt, it will actually print out the contents. Whoops, I got to spell it correctly. hello.txt, and it'll type it out for me, right? Because this is just a text file. That's all that it has in it. Now, I'd like you to notice something, and that is that
Mailbox 3, no messages.
what did I not specify over here? And that is the drive, and I didn't say what drive the hello.txt was, and I also didn't say what directory it was in. Right? So all I said was hello.txt. So the system by default decides that the drive is the current default drive, which, since I didn't tell it otherwise, is a colon, and since I didn't say what directory it was going to be stored in, it says, well, he's currently in the root directory, so that's the one. Okay, at this point we're going to go and take a look at the other commands, the format commands, look at some file names, the rules for that, and then the directory commands, the copy commands, and so on.